Good morning.
Morning.
What's up, James?
Hello. You guys just look at me and laugh at me.
We were just waiting to see who's.
I was reading up on some stuff, man. It was good. It was a good read.
Getting your facts straight.
Yeah, man. You ever have a good coffee read in the morning?
That's a good point.
Like
brew.
I do.
That morning brew.
Morning brews.
I like
very
that.
good.
It's a good play
Shout out
on
to
words,
them.
but I mean,
Morning
that's
brews
that's when I like to read up on some articles and stuff is in the morning when I'm having a cup of coffee.
Exactly.
How
Yeah,
you
I think
drinking
it's
that
done.
coffee?
It's good. It's good. I can never drink coffee.
No, how?
How?
Yeah.
Oh, it's just black.
cream.
Sorry.
Okay.
I thought you were asking me how the coffee was, but
Right.
I can never drink coffee when it's straight out the like when it just got made and it's hot as freaking balls. I have to let it sit for a little bit. So
You know whose coffee is like excessively hot? Wawa. You ever have Wawa coffee? It takes me like 45 minutes to drink that stuff. I feel like it's like scalding hot.
yeah, I can't do scalding hot.
Didn't McDonald's get sued because someone spilled coffee on like their leg?
Yes.
Something like that.
Yeah, and I
it's
think
like
that's
it's
where
your
the
fault,
sleeve
though.
came from.
I mean, come on.
Seinfeld did a spinoff off that where Kramer spills the coffee on himself and they sue. It's a whole. The coffee was too hot, I think, is what happened in the McDonald's thing. It's just
We don't like Seinfeld on this show.
Listen, based off the voters, we do.
There's no voters. It was based on our results.
Well, we voted.
Actually, we were on the train coming up, and this guy was watching Seinfeld.
Not friends.
I'm done with this conversation. We can move on.
Well, I'm sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna, when was the first time y'all have ever had coffee? Like, do you have a story to it?
So for me in college, you guys know this already probably, but I didn't drink coffee until like senior year, and every time I would study, I would just take pre-workout.
Mm-hmm.
So it would be like midnight, and I'd take pre-workout, where someone normal would probably drink a cup of coffee. But I just didn't ever really consume coffee ever, and I didn't really know like that it would keep me up. So I would just take pre-workout all the time, and then I forget exactly who, but someone I would go to the coffee shop, but I would never buy anything.
Mm-hmm.
And then I got a cup of coffee, and then I always just assumed it was bad for you because like everywhere you go, they put a million different things in it.
Yeah.
But no one was like, "Hey, just try black coffee." So then someone was, I think, ordering black coffee, and I was like, "Okay, I'll have one too." And then I was like, "This isn't bad. It's definitely an acquired taste." But I, from day one, started with black coffee, and I never really went away. And of course, I've had like coffee with more stuff in it. I mean, there's like so much shit out there that like you can get with like, I mean, creamer and sugar and all these things. But yeah, I just never really
Pump
veered
this,
away
pump
from
that.
Yeah, different flavors, all this crazy
Frothing. It's insane. But no, I like black coffee too. It's a little bit more bitter, but I like the smell and the taste of coffee. I really do. And I just, to make it less unhealthy, I try to stay away from anything that's going to be sugary and all that kind of stuff. So,
But I like just like you said, I like the taste of it.
I like it.
Now I'm like, oh, I like. It's hard to get away from. I like that taste.
You're drinking it for effect, basically, when it's black. When you put all, like, you pump it, you put all the creamer and stuff, then you're going for straight taste, and you could have, like, 4 or 5, like, give me just straight black coffee, good to go.
You can always sneak a Bailey's in there too.
Well,
That's about the only creamer
fair.
or ish
Yeah.
put in that thing. Nothing like a fresh coffee, just brewed black. Gotta love it.
Yeah. But you're a big fan of cold brew, right?
Cold brew, yeah.
Yeah.
I love cold brew. Cold brew black though.
Is there a difference between like a nitro cold brew, and is that just how they make the
Oh yeah,
coffee?
that stuff is bomb.
Yeah.
Nitro cold brews.
Kenny's a big fan of nitro.
I've had nitro or ice cream or something like that. It's like how they make it is just a little bit different. How they freeze it and whatever.
Yeah, the
For
foam
the ice
on
cream.
top.
was it Dan Campbell, the Lions head coach, was it nitro cold, like his coffee morning routine that was just extreme, but was it nitro cold brew?
No, for whatever reason, when you go order a nitro cold brew from whatever place, they limit you on how much you can consume. So if you go to Starbucks, you can only get a grande. You can't get like
Because of the nitrogen?
The
I
venti.
guess. I'm not sure. Someone might want to look that up. But why does Starbucks only let you get a grande size nitro cold brew, opposed to like a venti, which is like the tall?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I don't speak Starbucks. What are these sizes?
I don't know.
Venti's
grande.
the large one.
I
Grande
never-
is
I
the
never know
medium.
that.
And
Okay.
then the tall is the small. Yeah.
I never get that size.
Wait, what?
Yeah. It
Yeah.
makes it's yeah.
Say that the sizes one
So
more
I
time.
think it's tall is like the smallest one. Grande is the medium.
what,
And
what,
then
So what's
Venti
that
is the
one?
large.
That's Dunkin', but
this
what's
is
that
Dunkin'.
one?
That's like a venti at
Dunkin'?
Starbucks.
No, that's like a monster at Starbucks.
Really?
That thing?
That's like a the kids' college fund.
See, I
right?
say this, but do you ever see like when they grab the cups and they're like, this cup looks so much larger, and they pour the
Yeah.
same amount? It's the same shit. It's probably that.
Someone call our wives to get the Starbucks like breakdown on the different sizes. You know they would know.
Let's look it up just to make sure we fact check this.
I did find
Starbucks.
Dan Campbell's the order. So they say it is more than 1,000 milligrams of coffee, 2 venti coffees from Starbucks with 2 espresso shots each. That's his morning routine. That's how he starts.
This
his
just
day.
made me think of this.
Equivalent
You guys
of
all know
drinking
Riff
10
Raff is, right?
Red
Like,
Bulls.
Yeah.
So I watched this thing on Riff Raff like, I don't even know, 5 years ago. And he was like, it was when he was like yoked. He was like going to the gym. He was huge. They pull up at a Starbucks at like 9 o'clock at night. And I'm pretty sure he got like 10 shots of espresso in this coffee. And he was like just consuming coffee and working out at the time. Dude was huge. But him and his whole crew or whatever they had going on there drank like
Posse?
20 espresso shots like in every coffee. Crazy. But
a lot.
why? What's up with the nitro thing?
I didn't look it up.
Right,
Come on, Ryan. They were looking
I was looking
Right.
up Dan Campbell.
I was looking up the Starbucks sizes.
Can you look up why they only let you drink so much
on
nitro
it.
cold?
Absolutely.
All right. Well, while they're doing
It has to
that,
be the nitrogen.
Nitro.
What was your
Starbucks.
first like experience, or what was your first like welcoming to coffee? Like not drinking it, or how did you like grow up? Did your parents drink coffee? Because I remember waking up and then my kitchen just smelling like a cup of coffee. And like I never liked coffee growing up. I never drank it, but just the smell was so distinct.
Oh yeah.
And that's kind of what reminds me now. It's like that smell that you smelled when you were 8, 9, 10 years old.
Oh yeah.
It's like nostalgic.
My parents didn't drink coffee really that much. Like my mom does sometimes, but like not like I do. Like I'll
Oh, it's
drink 10
disgusting.
cups of
My
coffee.
grandfather loves coffee. He's got 2 Keurigs in his house.
Your grandfather at 5 a.m. when we went to go play golf. I've never seen that man so proud of what he owned.
I know.
That
The little, it's like the
machine.
5-gallon water machine. It's
Oh
like
my
the
God.
Primo or whatever. You have one of those, but like not this thing. It's the same brand, and it's got like a little drawer, and you can put the K cup in there and close it, and it brews the coffee out of that machine. And he is so proud of it.
Love it.
He's got that. Then he's got the other Keurig in the kitchen, and it's hilarious.
Help
And
yourself.
espresso.
Oh, it has it's loaded.
Oh yeah,
Patty likes the Nespresso though. You ever have
the
those?
Nespressos. Yeah,
Yeah.
I heard
Yeah.
about those.
Nespresso.
And then we have 2 coffee machines. We have the Nespresso, which she likes, which gives you there's like a froth on the top when it like finishes. And then I just do straight ground the beans in the machine, and then like the one at the office.
This is the saddest moment about drinking coffee.
When
it's
you're
gone.
done.
Yeah.
All right, so
gone.
going back to this, Starbucks Nitro, whatever. This answer very interesting. So, according to Bustle, the reason Starbucks does not serve it in the cup larger than venti is because the beverage is just not meant to be enjoyed in a cup that big. It defeats the purpose when you start to serve it in those larger quantities.
It's the most Starbucks explanation I've ever heard.
I know it
Bullshit.
How does that?
Defeats the purpose.
You said it's a venti?
No, they
Venti.
won't go to venti. They only go to grande. It won't go to venti.
correct.
Okay.
It said
Is venti the tallest? I
Venti's
still-
the biggest.
It's
we're
the
grande is
biggest.
medium. Tall is small.
And then they've got like their short ones that are less than 12 ounces. But why are you going to spend $7 on a?
Yeah. That's crazy though, because it can't be enjoyed. I feel like that's just there's no way.
according to Bustle. Let me see.
Interesting.
I would have thought that there has to be something to do with like nitrogen.
Right, me too. That's what I kept looking for.
Because I'm pretty sure that Dunkin Donuts also caps you on a certain size. But I'm not 100% sure. I feel like I've been there because I think Starbucks originally came out with the nitro cold brew, and then everyone else started to acquire it after that, probably because it blew up. And it's like on tap too. So, I mean, it's like an easy thing for them to make. They just literally like pour a beer, basically. Same shit.
Yeah, it says ordering anything bigger than a grande defeats the purpose of the drink. The beverage would lose the nitro cascade or the frothy, creamy-like texture given from the cascade of bubbles. So that's why they cap it.
So maybe it's because of the length that it takes someone to consume that, and over periods of time it loses the nitrogen composition of it, and then it's not that.
So it's not a health standpoint. It's just for the Starbucks
flavor.
looking out for the people. You know what I mean? Just for your enjoyment.
get the full flavor.
It's honestly insane how big and like what goes into this coffee industry. If you think about it, right? You just mentioned, I think Starbucks came out with the nitro first, and then everyone else started doing it, right? It's insane. Like if you can become a big player in coffee, it's the sky's the limit. You mentioned the Nespresso. Literally, Keurig came out of nowhere. I don't know how many years ago. I mean, I'm sure we can find out, but after that, now it was always just a simple coffee mug or coffee pot at every office, everywhere. And they shake the industry so much that now there is a Keurig in every office, everywhere, every home,
You're right.
everywhere. It's insane. These little K-cups, I mean, it's nuts. It's nuts.
It's better that way because listen, you go to an Airbnb and they don't have the Keurig. They
We
have
do
the
that.
old school
Scrambling.
We are in trouble. We
Looking
got
up
no
Google.
coffee.
Yeah, we try to look into the Airbnb now to make sure they don't have a coffee pot because we screw that shit up.
Well,
Every
you
time.
know,
Too much coffee beans or whatever.
The
coffee
problem
grounds.
though is like when you go there, there's so many different ways to make coffee. If you go rent a place and then you go get beans and then you go there and you have to have a K-cup, screwed.
Yeah.
You're screwed.
I mean, they make
They
some of those
just-
K-cups now where you can put the coffee grounds in it and then it works through like it's a reusable K-cup. They're not the greatest, but
I've tried to use those.
and I think there's probably an argument to be made on like how environmentally friendly those K-cups are too. But
On that topic of we've hit on Starbucks, we've hit on Dunkin', now we're in the Keurig. Do you all have a preference? Would you prefer to like go out, buy a coffee from one of those places, or would you prefer to make it at home? Like, is there a preference one way or the other?
Well, I think for me, it's just the strength of it. Like you go some places and you know it's diluted. You're like, I'm trying to get like as strong and bold as you
Kenny
can.
wants it right here, baby.
So if you go
into
somewhere
my
and it's
veins.
diluted, I'm like, that
he's got
sucks.
coffee in his
You know, like-
veins.
So for me, it's like, how do I get the boldest, strongest coffee? And that's why I like the nitro cold brew. Like, if you ever get that, it's
In a grande.
black, it's dark, it's good, it's bold. So it doesn't really answer the question, but I think it comes down to like where am I
How
gonna
you
get the best
describing a
coffee?
coffee is bold. I mean, I know that's a legit description and characteristic of a coffee, but bold
Yeah. I
Because
think if you're
it's-
trying to save money, obviously
Yes.
doing it at your house
and time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Time because have you seen the lines at Starbucks in
Oh,
the
it's
morning?
crazy. I mean, even when we went to
my
Dunkin'
goodness.
Donuts this morning, it was nuts.
Yeah, it was.
So time and convenience,
Yeah.
and then obviously it being cheaper significantly. I like going to coffee shops that are not like your Starbucks, your Dunkin'
Yeah,
Donuts.
Yeah.
those are
yeah,
popping
it's
It's
up.
cool to support like local shops.
Yeah.
Local,
Foxtail's the big one in Orlando
Yeah.
right now. Although I wouldn't even say that they're local shops anymore because they're almost
expanding.
everywhere, and they're definitely the best. I know people love that place.
Yeah.
Listen,
But
I
there's
went.
nothing better than sitting just in a coffee shop, like doing work or just having a conversation.
I like that vibe.
Yeah, like it's different too.
Yeah.
It's not like a party vibe or whatnot. You're just social, having a conversation, which I like.
Yeah, and being in Florida, a lot of the coffee shops that we have are just regular sized buildings. Like
Yeah.
a regular sized Dunkin' Donuts, just nothing special. But if you go up north where there's snow and all this stuff, and people are just trying to get a cup of coffee on the road, they have these tiny. It's like an ATM sized building, and that's it. And they're everywhere. And then all these parking lots all over the place, and it's just you just drive through really quickly and get a cup of coffee.
Exactly.
They're coming down because we just got one in West Palm.
Did we?
It's called like Brew. I want to say it's Brew 84 or something like that. It's like a small blue building. Like there must be a couple of baristas in there making coffees. Solely drive through. I don't even think there's a window. Only drive through and that's it. The building's tiny.
I mean, before, I know Dunkin' and Starbucks have been around for a while, but I feel like the normal place to get a cup of coffee used to be gas stations.
Yeah.
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 And gas station coffee is great. You mentioned Wawa. I love 7-Eleven too. 7-Eleven coffee is great. I mean, we lived off of 7-Eleven coffee in college.
We did.
That was my first coffee experience. Was 7-Eleven.
You're a college drinker. Were you high
all-nighter.
school or college?
I had coffee in high school, but college is where my soft addiction started. I would
Gotcha.
say.
I had coffee in high school, probably a little bit earlier than you guys. I don't know if it's just because of my grandfather and my dad, how much they drank it at work and stuff. And so when I worked there in high school, like you couldn't get through the day without coffee. and then that effect has come down.
Yes.
It's interesting though because you guys grew up with coffee. I didn't really have honestly I might have had my first coffee after 20 years old.
Yeah.
So
If you said senior year,
yeah, it's 20. Well,
you were definitely already
21.
drinking alcohol legally.
Oh, yeah, definitely legally.
Right. Legally.
Yeah.
Yes.
Legally.
Teenage
Good.
drinking is
It's
very
very
bad.
bad.
Yo,
I got a fake ID, though.
But you started so early, but now like we basically drink more coffee than you do.
I know.
But
I do it just from a health perspective. Like I'm sure there's probably more scientific research behind it, but I try to stick myself to 2 cups a day. One in the morning and one in the afternoon. Usually like a 2 o'clock is when I try to do that. So that way it's early enough so that's not going to affect my sleep, but it's enough to get over that like that hump after like lunch and stuff. Especially knowing me, I eat a lot of food, so I get kind of the food coma hits in around like 1 o'clock. So this gets me back over that wall. But what I've been doing a lot more now, and I don't know about you guys, I delay my coffee intake in the morning.
I do too.
Yeah.
And I think that's really, really important nowadays. Not only just because of coffee addiction, but because to let your body naturally wake up. Like you should probably consume coffee. I think it's 90 minutes
Andrew
after you
Huberman.
wake up. Yeah,
Yeah,
Andrew
Andrew
Huberman.
Thank you
got
for
me on
those
that.
statistics.
Yeah.
Big time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I usually wait about 2 hours.
Yeah.
And it's
It helps.
those 2 hours, though, when you get that first sip of coffee.
It's
great.
good. I mean, I get anxious. Don't get me wrong. But a simple glass of water with
Yeah.
salt now that, again, Andrew Huberman, is enough energy for me to get through workouts and let me just, my morning routine, and then I can jump into the coffee and kind of sit down and start working.
I'll do greens like in the morning. So I try to do
good
water,
energy.
like 20 ounces to 30 ounces of water. And then
Of what?
I didn't know that was coming.
You took it out.
I was waiting.
Sorry,
for that to come.
Come on, Jersey, of what?
And then
Of water?
do the greens, and then like going from greens to coffee is not a good mix. So it kind of keeps me from wanting coffee because those greens and like the taste of coffee is just so different.
Yeah.
So I don't. Yeah, I definitely do the 90-minute, probably more, 2 hours, something like that, 3 hours. But
I don't. If I wake up for the gym, we're right into pre-workout. If we sleep in, which happens probably 2 or 3 times a week, then we're just right into the coffee. So you guys are good for y'all for the
Do you
delay. I'm
use-
right into
You're
it.
using coffee as a pre-workout.
Yeah, you're using coffee as a pre-workout?
I switch it up. So I C4 coffee.
Don't
Spark.
drink C4.
Jeez,
I
dude.
just switch it
Why?
up.
C4
Man.
is awesome.
No, it's terrible for you.
It's
There's so
fine.
many other pre-workouts out there that are just better.
okay,
we'll
no
table that
pre-workout, no pre-workout that has any type of value is good for you. So
Right.
if you're trying to drink pre-workout, you do not give a flying fuck if it's good for you.
That's why I don't drink it anymore because of my blood pressure and all the bullshit. But
I mean, I don't
That's
drink it
insane.
anymore
Yeah.
either. But
I
We'll get to my
only heard negative
pre-workout
things about
choices on
C4.
another episode. But coffee, just
Coffee's
shock the system with the caffeine.
for a while, I was doing a shot of espresso for pre-workout.
Jeez.
But that's when I was working out later in the day. Now I couldn't like wake up at 5 and just shoot a shot of espresso.
Exactly.
But that would just be.
James,
I
you
mean,
made
I
a
could-
comment earlier where you said the worst part when you finish, right? I don't know about all of you, but my brother and I, we have an issue with how my wife and his girlfriend drink their coffee, and that is they drink it down and they always leave at least 1 to 2 sips of coffee every single time, like clockwork. And then we'll go in there, I'll take a look at the coffee, I'll say, "Are you done yet?" Sometimes she sees it, she knows why I'm asking. It's sitting in there, it's ice cold. She'll drink it out of spite. Other times she'll dump it. And we don't like how much coffee's being wasted. So do you have that battle?
Well, you know why they're doing that.
Why?
The coffee's gone. It's just settled crap at that point
Yeah,
in
it's like
time.
water diluted.
Water diluted, pumpkin spices, and like it's just
All the heavy
disgusting.
shit dropped to
Whipped
the bottom.
cream and all that.
I'm just
crap
saying,
that
you
they got in
start
there.
something, you got to finish what you started.
Oh,
and I
it's
see
like
an unfinished drink.
It's
I'm
like having
disappointed.
sugar water. It's disgusting. There's no coffee in that anymore. They drink that.
Just
But there's
melted
something
ice.
else that they do that you don't like too, right?
Oh, that is it's girls around the world. The iced coffee, though.
It's like they're drinking wine.
Oh my! It's
Right?
Just on
So
top
wine's
instead
from the bottom and the coffee's on the
Yeah.
top, right?
That's true. I never thought about that.
Goodness.
So it sounds like it's just a Salimos thing, and we have a problem with. You guys aren't running into that with the half drinking or unfinished coffee. I got to do some soul.
Patty
No.
doesn't really drink iced coffee, so it's not really much of a thing.
No, yeah. We just get more upset when people are half drinking their beers and alcoholic
That's
beverages
true.
and leaving those around. You know who you are. But anyways, back to your question, Johnny. You were asking what was our preference for like Keurig at home or something. So I don't think Ryan, we didn't hear from you on that.
For me, it's definitely at home because I don't drink coffee for taste. So I don't really need to go to specifically just whatever type of coffee. Doesn't matter.
So if you're making coffee at home, is it just Keurig or do you have other methods of brewing it?
I agree with you though, Ryan.
Okay,
like if you're just drinking.
Okay, hey,
Sorry to cut you off.
put one on the board for Ryan.
Squirrel.
If you're just drinking black coffee, like why? What's the difference if you go to Dunkin' or Starbucks or some random place or your house? Like it's black coffee.
I feel like there's some
beans.
coffee connoisseurs out there that are.
I want to know the people that work from home that leave their house to go get coffee and come back. That would drive me insane.
Probably the only time they get out of the house too.
Yeah, all right. Then you know what? That's healthy. go ahead and do that.
Hey, natural sunlight, right?
What's not healthy?
Early.
What's not healthy is when you are walking into Starbucks and you're not used to it. I walked into a Starbucks about a week or two. The barista knew right away, you don't belong here. She had to walk. Here's where we pay. Here's where they're gonna go. It was chaos.
You went to a Starbucks?
I did. I had to pick up coffee for the wife.
They have signs.
Listen, it just was very chaotic. It was Saturday morning. People are in there like they're itching for their coffee. They're trying to grab it. I'm just trying to get my food and coffee and get out of here. I'm not meant to be in Starbucks in that environment. Just let me make it at home.
But before we go back to my question that Kenny so politely interrupted me with, how's Starbucks food? Because I'm the foodie. I've never really I see they have like the window of food and it just looks so.
Their sausage, egg, and cheddar is pretty fire.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
So they have good sandwiches.
The Gouda,
I've never had it.
I usually get the Gouda sandwich. That's another one.
If I'm there, I'm there for coffee.
And then they have a pumpkin bread. You can get like warmed up. It's pretty good too.
Pumpkin bread.
You can get your pumpkin spice
I
latte.
feel like there's just people that it's the brand.
Yeah, I feel like it's different. It's not like you're just egg sandwich, right? Like Dunkin' has just like egg sandwiches. Sometimes you get avocado on it, but I'm just looking for bacon, egg, and cheese. Like that's basically all. And I don't feel like you get like a little bit more dainty.
No, I mean you can get a sausage, egg, and cheddar with it's basically it's almost the same thing as like.
What does it come on like a
English muffin?
English muffin.
Yeah, I mean it's almost like a sausage, egg McMuffin, honestly, but a little bit different, kind of like less greasy. But yeah,
sausage, egg McMuffin.
McDonald's.
Sausage, egg McMuffin.
Oh, McDonald's.
I can mess with that.
Delicious.
But anyways, the reason why I brought up the how you brew your coffee at home is because have you guys ever seen one of those? It's called a mocha pot. I think that's how you can make like espresso. It's the like metal pot that you can like put onto the burner on your stove.
Yeah, I have seen those.
You have no idea what I'm talking about.
Right.
I don't have one, but I know my dad has one, and he does really enjoy using it. And very rarely does he do it, but I was just curious if you guys had anything else other than Keurigs or Nespressos or whatever at your house for just coffee.
I have a funny story.
Oh, okay.
Sure.
So I used to just have an espresso machine. And like when you do the espresso machines, there's this like metal thing that goes to the top and you like click it in and then you pour the water in the machine and it builds up pressure and it pushes the water through this like metal piece that you basically pack the coffee grinds in or the espresso grinds in. So you have like this little handle.
Yeah.
Like a little cup.
It twists out.
Yeah.
And you pour it. Yeah.
So when I first bought the machine, I like didn't know how to use it. So I pack the espresso beans in and like do it and everything. Turn it on. I get a couple ounces of espresso. All good. But I didn't realize that the machine just builds up with like a crazy amount of pressure to be able to push the water through the very fine, like basically coffee grains, right? So it's sitting there. I go to take out that metal thing where you replace like the coffee grinds, and I didn't realize that you had to like release the pressure before you did that.
Oh, it's like a button and a thing.
Yeah, you have to like turn a valve basically, and it just like shoots out. It's like shh, and it shoots out, but it lasts like 5 minutes. So I didn't notice it. So I just took it off, and this thing just fucking blew up. Like it literally was just like all the pressure came out from where the coffee or where the water flowed through, and it just like exploded, and coffee like beans were, or not the beans, the grinds were everywhere. Yeah, it was just like pretty powerful shit. Like it was
it
crazy.
at your current place?
No, at the old house.
Okay, I was gonna say you got like 20-foot ceilings. If that thing reached the ceiling,
No,
that would be
no.
insane.
At the old place, it was everywhere.
I
though.
think
Like,
that
coffee was
design
everywhere.
is kind of similar to the French press. That little thing that you kind of like push the coffee down. It's
Yeah.
about pressure. I think that's the whole point. I've seen those machines. They're insane.
That's a
I mean,
YouTube tutorial for sure.
Oh, yeah.
You gotta
Oh,
watch
yeah.
YouTube.
I
on
mean,
how to
I
do
did
that.
not watch a YouTube tutorial. I just messed with that thing. I went right in and I
Full
fucked it
send.
up, and it was. I learned.
Well, that's why they came up with the term barista, because that's what they have to.
Yeah.
These machines are a little more elaborate
No,
than
they
you
are.
think.
And there's some. My uncle, he's from Italy, and he likes his coffee very like he has a shot of espresso after dinner every night, and they have a awesome, like really nice Italian coffee machine. But it's like shiny, has like pipes that like run down it, and it's
Oh,
like
yeah.
it's crazy. It looks like a Willy Wonka mini.
They have like
Willy Wonka factory.
like a modern industrial look. They're really cool, actually.
Yeah, they're awesome.
A lot of homes now have coffee bars.
Yep.
It's
Yeah,
insane.
they
I mean, my cousin, she had this whole row of all the different pumps that she had. I mean, she basically had her own Starbucks inside her house. It was insane. She can make any coffee, and she made some damn good coffees. But it's crazy.
Yeah.
I want to go to the you just said about you said who's from Italy?
My uncle.
Yeah, so I don't know if you have the same feelings when you because we both have been to Greece, but just overseas the way they look at coffee and like the way like it's just part of casual conversation. It doesn't matter what time of day, it's just coffee everywhere, all the different cafes. Like every morning we were going up having a cup of coffee, but it's just almost relaxing.
It's social.
Yeah,
Yeah.
There it is.
It's
It's
a-
it's
it's
a
social.
social
It's
aspect.
social
where not
drinking.
as much here.
Well, the culture too. Like in
Right.
Italy, like if you order a certain coffee that like you would order in America, they'll look at you crazy. Like, what are you ordering?
Yeah.
You'll just get like a shot of milk, and they'll be like, "What is this?"
Well, it's funny because like when I would go to like when I went to Greece, I think that all I ordered was Americanos because Americano is that
Yeah.
almost like
Right.
a black coffee with ice. So you just order an Americano, which is funny. I'm like, that is so cliche. Like I'm ordering Americano. I'm in another country. I'm like, of course. But I like that anywhere you go, you can say I like a coffee and they know what you're
Yeah.
talking about. Like it's so universal. It's something that is everywhere, literally.
So in Australia, I was trying to remember what it was called. Their coffee, like just a regular, like common black coffee, like it says a single shot of espresso into hot water. It's Australian, New Zealand. It's called a long black. That's what I was ordering the whole time. I had no idea what I was drinking until now. But they said it's similar to an Americano.
I think that that's a very common thing. I don't know why it's called an Americano, but isn't an Americano just a shot of espresso with water and ice? Or something like that? Because if you go to Starbucks and I just get a nitro cold brew or a black iced coffee, which is not an Americano. An actual Americano, I think, is a water and coffee and ice.
Just black coffee.
So James, you're in Australia,
Yeah.
and you every morning you would go order a long black. I'm just trying to understand your trip, man.
I just said, can I get a black coffee?
Okay.
And then they go, oh, okay. Well, we have long black. And I said, sure. That sounds good. Whatever's just like a regular cup of hot coffee. So that's what I had every single time.
All right.
Very good.
But
You're
one thing I
ridiculous. You're a
also
child,
noticed too is
and that's why we love you. Stop interrupting me, Kenny. I wasn't done. I'm just kidding.
did you figure out what an Americano
It's literally espresso. and hot
Yeah,
water.
espresso, hot
Americano-
water,
the
nothing
Americano?
else.
Yeah, but some people
Espresso,
may
hot
add
water.
something into it. But yeah, an Americano is literally espresso.
There
It's
was one
hot
other
water.
drink in
it was just like
Australia.
a diluted.
Yeah.
Which
I
is
think
why
that they do
1 o'clock in the afternoon, 4 o'clock, 8 a.m. It really did not matter. It's just you sit down, breakfast, lunch, or dinner, and
Yeah.
hey, first thing they're asking you, it's do you want a water and do you want a coffee?
Flat white was the other thing I got.
Well, so it's
So
it's
a long
funny-
black and a flat was Ryan.
It's funny that
Something wrong with
Come
you.
on, man, that's funny.
so in Greece they actually have you sit down.
Kenny's got. All right, go ahead.
I was trying to
Sorry,
continue this.
Get
but
through the
no, we're good.
conversation.
No. So you guys are saying in Greece, like it's more about sitting down, having a coffee. So in Italy, like that's not really a thing. Like you go to the shop, you grab your coffee and go. Even with like your food as well. So it's not like very much social. It's like you're in and out, which I find very interesting.
Yeah.
Especially when you compare cultures and what coffee looks like.
Does anyone have this fact? What country consumes the most amount of coffee? Or like
Look it up.
Race to the type.
because I feel like, and the reason why I think this is because I know that a lot of people in like Italy do like an espresso shot after dinner, and like a lot of people here in America would be like an espresso shot after dinner is like a lot. Like, you know, you do the espresso shot in the morning because you have a lot of energy. So if they're doing that for dinner, I would think throughout the day they're having espresso shots or, you know, consuming coffee more regularly. But I would think that America has to be on the top end of this scale of how much consumption of coffee there is.
So I'm looking at coffee produced. So this may be a little bit different. Brazil is number 1.
Yeah, but that's like beans.
That's who's
right?
making
Yeah.
it, not who's drinking. Yeah.
Yeah, that's like the consumption of like, or the growing.
We'll
of
keep looking. We'll keep digging.
So you want to know like which country is actually
drinks
consuming the
Yeah.
most?
because it's everywhere.
Who's
So-
importing the most? We'll start
I mean,
there.
you also got to remember there's also per capita coming into play. So there could be some cultures
True.
that all they do is drink coffee, but they don't have a lot of people in that area. Like, do you know how big Britain is compared to like the U.S.? Like,
Wouldn't it be coffee time in London and not tea time in London if it was Britain?
thank you.
You're welcome.
I was teeing that one up. Hey, so we haven't talked about tea yet, which I think is kind of. It's like you either like tea or coffee. You can like
Well,
both,
yeah.
but like I feel like there's people like my mom will not drink coffee. She's a tea drinker.
Does she
and
put
there's
sugar in tea?
Certain,
Yeah,
I'm
I mean,
surprised by that.
yeah, it's basically creamer too. Like she'll do the Dunkin Donuts creamer. It's the same exact process that my dad used to have. Now he drinks black, but it was just he brewed coffee, Keurig, coffee, the Dunkin creamer. My mom, tea, Lipton tea bag, poured Dunkin coffee in it. So basically, I mean, different flavor profile because it's tea, but
well,
I don't know.
certain
Some
teas
people
have
don't like
caffeine,
coffee.
right?
My wife doesn't drink coffee. She actually prefers tea.
But certain teas have caffeine, right?
Yeah, and there's a boatload
yeah,
of teas. I mean, that's another topic for. I don't know anything about tea.
But
Green tea, chai tea, which I think chai
Green tea shots?
They actually made fun of chai tea in the most recent Spider-Man, the Sony one where it's animated. But anyways, I think chai tea just means like tea. So it's like TT. You're saying TT,
Oh,
I don't know,
Interesting.
which I thought was funny. But
yeah, I don't know much about tea either.
I'll shut up.
Okay.
I do think I do drink a turmeric tea at night.
Turmeric,
Yeah,
turmeric.
whatever.
Listen, he's got
Order.
Turmeric,
I drink tea at night too.
tomato, tomato.
potato.
It's like turmeric and
Yep.
and ginger. It's like a
Ginger, yep.
Yeah.
yeah, not definitely acquired
Well,
taste. but
Tea has always had like this like healing aspect to it though. Right? Coffee's always
Yeah.
been like I need something to pick me up and get me through my day. Tea can like have actual healing qualities. Like there's tea's more plant-based. It's not just bean, right? Like you
Yeah.
can put different plants like I know Lydia's got this she's got this nice pot and like it's got this little
Like a teapot?
yeah, it's
I'm
a
a
teapot.
little
It's
teapot.
a nice teapot if you want to get that
Short.
specific. It's got like it's got this thing you can put the teas. I'm not even going to talk with you. Come on,
come on. Welcome to Hot Takes, where we talk about debatable topics. Today's debatable topic is going to be picked by Ryan.
Dunkin' is better than Starbucks. John?
Starbucks. Cold brew.
Starbucks.
Black.
America runs on Dunkin'.
Damn, you took my line. Absolutely. America runs on Dunkin', baby.
Well, hey man, at least we agree.
There we go.
At least we agree.
For once.
Yeah, right.
You know, I think that at the root of both companies, they're really trying to sell coffee.
That's it.
Right?
Yeah.
Oh, are they?
Which we love.
Yeah,
when
they
Dunkin'
are.
Donuts,
love coffee.
remember when
We
Dunkin'
love
Donuts
coffee.
used to be Dunkin' Donuts? Now it's
Yeah,
just
it's
Dunkin'.
Yeah.
because
They were a donut. Yeah.
Yeah, because it's the root of their companies are
Yeah.
coffee.
They what first competed with Krispy Kreme, and now they compete with Starbucks.
However, Dunkin' still has the donut option, which Starbucks, I don't believe, does.
We're talking about coffee here.
Coffee?
Coffee.
Talking about
Talking about
coffee.
coffee.
So I go into Starbucks. I can't even order a smaller regular. I got to get a Dainty or
That's
whatever.
right.
Like it's
That is true.
Starbucks is chick side.
You
Not
don't
a
get
bad
the
thing. just-
Ariana Grande?
Wait,
Whatever.
What?
Starbucks is more for chicks with those type of orders, type of drinks that they're making. I just need a regular coffee.
Well, I
Get
guess
it black.
I guess he's got a point though. They have baristas,
Yeah, there
right?
you go.
Like, compared to
word.
just someone that's making you a cup of coffee, a cup of Joe. I like Dunkin' because I just want a cup of Joe. Like I just want a nice taste tasty.
And you
black
think
coffee.
that the coffee at Dunkin'
I think
tastes better than
the hot black coffee tastes better than the.
So you think it tastes better than like Pike's Place?
Yeah, Pike's Place is, I was gonna
medium
say.
roast, whatever it is.
Yeah, I like Dunkin's coffee better.
Yeah, I think the nitro cold brew either just the nitro cold brew as a whole at Starbucks is fire. And I don't know. I took Dunkin' a long time to acquire that. They might. I think they do have it now, but I don't think it's the same. It tastes different. I think it might be the roasted coffee.
Yeah,
but
it could be.
nitro cold brew at Starbucks is on point.
Yeah, I'm a big cold brew person at Starbucks. What about the customer service?
Ooh, Starbucks goes in on customer
Yeah.
service.
Yeah, no, Starbucks
My
is in
mom,
there.
my mom goes to one.
him.
As soon as you walk through the door, they say, "Hey, what's your name?" And then she'll say Debbie, and they'll say, everyone just screams, "Hey, Debbie!" Yeah! Customer experience. Then you love being there.
That's like going into Moe's. Welcome to Moe's.
yeah.
Do I think it's worth $4 for a cup of coffee? Absolutely.
Well, that's
not,
why
but-
I was gonna make my point. I think Dunkin', which is also probably the reason why I like Dunkin', it's cheaper.
Slightly. I don't know if it really is anymore.
I mean, a black
think-
cup of coffee, it's really hard to have an expensive black cup of coffee, but Starbucks is more expensive. Now, to be completely fair, I'm a Keurig guy. I just make my own coffee at home.
Oh yeah.
But if I had to buy coffee, I usually just go to Dunkin'. I don't know. I like Boston. Boston people love Dunkin' Donuts.
There for a weekend. There's a Dunkin' Donuts in every single
Everywhere.
corner.
Everywhere.
Go to New York.
Hey, let's be
There's a
honest. They need to change
Starbucks.
their slogan to Boston runs on Dunkin'.
There are a few Starbucks out there now, which is interesting, but yeah, they
Well,
got Dunkin' Donuts everywhere.
Yeah,
I just can't
that's
stand the
why-
iced coffee. You know, you
I
gotta
don't
do
like the
this
flair.
Just give me the regular coffee. I don't need all
Yeah.
the fancy stuff.
Yeah, I'm an in and
It's
out.
extra.
I'm here for one reason. That's to get some caffeine in my system.
I
That's
agree.
it.
I think that Dunkin' is trying to be more like Starbucks. They're like, they
Yeah,
changed the name. They tried renovating the places, making it look a little bit nicer.
Mm-hmm.
They're trying to mold after Starbucks, I think. And they're really trying to tackle that because they don't want to be the Krispy Kreme kind of competitor. They want to be the Starbucks competitor. But I think Starbucks is winning that model. And I not only just on the business perspective, but on the customer service end, on the quality of goods, I think Starbucks wins this game.
I do too.
Do we know what their like sales numbers are?
They're both public, so-
They all just came out with their figures not too long ago, right?
I think Starbucks, and also how many locations. That's another thing.
Yeah,
If
that's
someone
a
wants,
huge thing.
I know that both of them are Dunkin's.
International, right? They're
Well,
both
no.
international?
I think,
I would
but
assume.
with the slogan like "America runs on Dunkin'," I don't know how that
Oh,
works.
that's a good point.
Unless they say everywhere runs on Dunkin'.
2017 doesn't seem too early.
Yeah, I don't know, but
Something from 2023.
let's see.
Dunkin' is cheaper. We got that going for us.
We know,
baby.
yeah, it is
Yeah.
cheaper. I will say that, but I don't know how much.
$45 billion market between Starbucks and Dunkin' Donuts.
Coffee. You need it.
Who wins that share though?
Right now I haven't gotten to the specific things, but 25,000 branches between the two of them.
Wow.
That's insane.
I think it's gonna break it down right here.
Yeah. All right. So Dunkin' is obviously the older company, established for more than 20 years.
Dunkin' has-
Starbucks has nearly than 70% more U.S. stores than Dunkin' Donuts.
Do you see that?
how many?
Dunkin'
Wild.
has more than 3,000 stores outside the U.S. Starbucks has more than 17,000.
That's why
Holy crap.
America runs on Dunkin'. America is the greatest country in the world,
Holy
so
cow.
Dunkin' better than Starbucks, right? That's how that
Typical
works.
coffee at Starbucks or at Dunkin' is $2 less than Starbucks.
It makes sense.
Howard Schultz is a marketing genius.
Yes, he is.
Did you
Company
Who's Howard
infrastructure.
Schultz? Is that
he was the old CEO.
for
Starbucks.
Starbucks? Okay.
I think the infrastructure of Starbucks is stronger. I think they've probably grown faster. I don't know when the inception of both companies is, but to me, it looks like Starbucks has
Dunkin' was
come up.
Dunkin' was about 20 years older than Starbucks, I believe.
Okay, makes sense. But I think that the growth is rapid in Starbucks and continues to be.
I agree.
Damn, drinkers get approximately 12% more caffeine from Starbucks.
Let's go, baby.
Ooh, better coffee.
if the
It's just
whole
roast.
if the whole
It's the
reason
roast, yeah.
for it was to get
But
caffeine,
listen, we're forgetting the donuts, baby. We got multiple layers.
They
to
don't like
this.
their donuts. They changed their name.
Listen,
They're
coffee's
smaller
main-
too.
They are a little bit small.
They are a little smaller.
The donuts got smaller?
Yeah. Did you see the?
Wait,
did you
hold
see-
on. That's not, and everything is more price, less.
Yeah,
big.
100%.
So it ain't just a Dunkin' problem.
well, when I was in Montana, when you're just driving down like any like regular street in a populated city area, like where there's actually like people there, not just crazy farmlands and stuff. They didn't have like a lot of Starbucks and Dunkin' Donuts, but they had just these small drive-through coffee shops. Like tiny, like literally probably the size of like our podcast room, like nothing too much bigger than this. Just someone's in there making the coffee. You're just going around a loop and you're getting it and you're going. And I think that might be more of something that's up in an up north cold area.
We're getting them here. They're big in
they?
Colorado, but we just got one in West Palm. Yeah.
Huh.
They built it on the opposite side of the road of a Starbucks on a very like busy road, and they're probably going to pick up all that traffic. Really
That's
good,
smart.
Really good strategy there. But
The other side of the reason why I like Dunkin', I know we talked about coffee a lot, but I actually like Dunkin's food too. I don't like Starbucks food, and Starbucks food is definitely insurmountably fucking more expensive.
Big breakfast guy, huh?
Yeah, like if
But
I'm
I
eating
think-
breakfast, I like Dunkin'.
A report from November
I think
22, Dunkin', we're talking about coffee. Dunkin' sells 2.9 cups of coffee per customer. Starbucks only 2.2.
What year is that?
But what kind of cups of coffee? Is
November
that
of
including like
2022.
frappuccinos and
It's not included Venti and Grandes and all that shit at
That's
Starbucks.
just
I'll
the
tell you that
sizes,
much.
Ryan.
We got
Not a
small,
type.
we got small, medium, and larges at Dunkin', baby. The normal stuff.
Did you see the apparently like their new CEO at Starbucks is like, I don't know how true, but I read an article like once a month he's going to like work in a store as like a normal barista.
like undercover boss style.
Not even undercover, like he's just gonna go and work. But he doesn't
Good
like
model.
announce it, which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
Ty, what's your thoughts, man? What do you like? American runs on Dunkin', or are we going with
I
Starbucks?
think if I liked donuts a little more, you'd have.
Hey.
Oh, if. Wait, did you say if?
Yeah, no.
What?
I'm sorry. No, I'm gonna
Why
go
do you-
Starbucks.
Starbucks, baby. Let's
Why
go.
do you tear at my heartstrings?
You've won. You've won pretty recently.
You're on a streak.
You're on a
I
streak.
was on a streak.
Streak ruined.
Well, listen,
Starbucks
My
team.
streak is
I want to
still
throw in
going.
a
What do you
quick
have
caveat though. Wawa coffee's the best.
Ooh,
I
Wawa
love
coffee
Wawa
is
coffee.
solid. Wawa coffee is solid. They have something going for them.
Wawa's
But
great.
again, that's just for the regular like hot coffee, not like a cold brew or something like that. So.
So the winner is Wawa. Just
Dunkin',
kidding.
Dunkin'.
Starbucks
Dunkin',
is the
Dunkin'.
So I pulled up the data that you were looking for, Kenny. Let's play a little game here. Let's go top 5. All right, this is top 10 countries. We'll go top 5 that drink the most coffee per person.
Okay.
Okay, I will give you all hints. America and Brazil are not in the top 5. This is according to worldpopulationreview.com. Again, this is per person. The number 1 country on average drinks nearly 4 cups a day.
I would think it's like Italy or like Spain.
Greece. We mentioned Greece. Really?
No.
Who drinks more coffee? Colombia?
Yeah, this is pretty hard.
Okay, can you give us regions of the earth? Are they all over the place?
yeah. It's
Can we get what the hell are they called?
Honestly?
Continents.
Oh, God.
all right. So
Jeez.
this is the number 1, but
Did you just say what are they called?
Continents, yes.
I had a
yes.
brain fart. Come on, guys, that happens.
We're having a tough day over here with the
Turmeric
Turmeric.
coffee. I've been
All right,
done with coffee
turmeric.
since minute 10.
I'm tweaking. I can't think. I got too much coffee in me.
sorry, what did you want as the
We just
hint?
need a region. We need a
We
hint.
need,
of
we
where-
need, we need
Can we
one
get
of
a
the
hint?
7.
Geography.
One of the 7 continents is what
Okay.
we need, sir.
All right. Well, Europe.
Okay.
Okay, so we struck out on Greece and Italy.
like Switzerland,
France, Switzerland, the Swiss.
Norway.
Norway.
Okay. Norway's
Norway?
number 2.
Who is number 2?
That was a shot in the dark.
Vikings.
So
wasn't it?
The
yeah,
Vikings.
the
I'm a
Vikings-
Norwegian. That's probably
that
why
was
I
gonna
drink
be
a lot
my
of
next
The
hint.
Vikings. All right.
Wow.
They drink on average more than 3 cups a day.
Okay, where do we have to place them in this top 5? Where are they in the top 5?
They're 2.
Norway's 2.
2. Wow. Okay. Is that all of Europe? Have we gotten
No,
all
you
of
got
Europe?
more.
Are they all Europe?
Norway. Wow. I wouldn't have just. That's just a odd one.
Careful with the mic, John.
Turkey? Is that
Ireland.
even Europe? Ireland. That's a good one.
Is Cuba on
He's
there?
not budging.
Cuba.
Cuba.
Ty coming out of nowhere.
Of course. Okay.
Was Cuba?
So-
Is
Cuba's
Thai?
on there?
Is, I mean, is
What was the one you
Cuba?
said?
I mentioned like Turkey, Ireland.
I don't see
Kenny
Cuba
said.
on
Is Thai right? Cuba?
No.
Top 5?
No. Sorry, Ty.
Those are ones
Cuba's
that I
not
would
in
have
Europe.
thought. America, Colombia.
So they're
Spain,
all Europe.
Italy,
So as a
Greece.
whole consumption,
Yes.
America is
Oh,
number
all right.
1. As a whole. But per like
Per
person.
person.
So
'Cause that's-
Finland
there's a
is actually
Finland.
number 1.
Finland.
Okay.
Iceland
Germany?
is number 3.
Germany, Iceland. They considered Europe.
Or we need to stop doing this with the geography. We are looking rough out here, boys. Get another cup of coffee.
Denmark is number 4. And
Denmark,
Netherlands is number 5.
Wow. All right.
Netherlands. All right.
Yeah, those are definitely surprising areas. I
Yeah.
wouldn't have thought Just because I feel like, and this is probably all but by like a marketing ploy, right? Like who consumes more coffee, who makes more coffee.
Are they mostly northern countries in Europe? Because I'm wondering if cold has a
Definitely.
Interesting. Well, I mean, Russia likes their liquor. That warms them up instead of coffee.
Right.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
you
but
guys,
that's like saying,
for the most part, though, when it came to like consumption by the country, though, United States was number 1, Germany was number 2, Japan 3, France 4, and Italy 5.
Okay. So we weren't that far off, but
It's just crazy to think that Finland, on average, a person drinks 4 cups of coffee.
It's crazy.
good for the Finnish people. 4 cups a day.
It's a lot.
yeah.
Is that
That's
really
cool.
their
I
thing,
mean,
Finnish?
Also, to my education and knowledge, it's referred to
great-
You know
as
what I
the
want to
Finnish.
wonder now, like breaking that down a little bit more
Oh, goodness.
further. I guess, that's the way to word this. How many coffee shops or businesses driven by coffee are in Finland?
That's going to take a little bit to research there.
Right? Because, I mean, if they drink that much
Kenny's
coffee.
trying to enter the market. Right.
I am trying to enter the market. Give me some reason why.
So this is actually kind of crazy you said that. International Coffee Organization in 2016. Coffee's so popular in Finland that there's 2 10-minute coffee breaks that are legally mandated
Damn.
by the Finnish workers.
Someone from Finland, comment on this video and tell us how much coffee you drink.
This is in 2016, but it's on the World Population Review from 2023. But that is crazy if that's still accurate and true.
2 10-minute coffee breaks
Or
nationally
legally.
mandated. So what? They just like 10 o'clock every day, they have to legally take a 10-minute break?
We're all headed to the coffee room, all right? We'll see you there. Everyone just get up from your job to coffee.
Like they just walk around with like a coffee cart. It's like 10-minute break coming up.
Did your
That's
research
awesome.
here also contain coffee being used in like food? I doubt it, but
No.
Don't think so.
like there's a lot of recipes out there that actually use coffee. I mean, have you ever had a coffee rub steak?
No.
yes.
Good.
Yes.
Very good. And I'm a huge proponent of coffee ice cream. I
Yeah.
love
Oh, I
coffee
love
ice
coffee
cream.
ice cream.
Coffee ice cream's amazing. And I don't know if you ever had those little candies, like it's chocolate covered coffee
You
beans.
love those things.
Yeah.
I
you
can
are.
pop those things, man. They're good. They're really good.
I know the guy over here. I only drink 2 cups of coffee a day. He has a half a bag of espresso chocolates.
Okay.
And then toffee ice cream to close out
I've
the
literally
day.
had one bag in my
He's
life.
like, I only
and
had 2 coffees today.
I didn't even finish the bag.
I'm just kidding. But you do like those things.
They were cool.
They're all right.
They're good.
There's a lot of
All right.
a lot of craft beers now.
Coffee beer.
Better.
Yeah, that's
I mean, what's our favorite?
Oh,
An espresso martini.
Okay.
so I thought you were going
Beer.
beer. My bad.
I know.
I got
alcohol. I was
nervous.
trying
espresso
to-
martinis are good.
Fire.
Yeah, and
Delicious.
Fire.
they picked up
Espresso
steam.
martinis, baby.
We've actually we've become like now we like rank them. We're like,
No.
not a good espresso.
Well,
martini.
the nice they came out with the cans, so you don't have to worry about like trying
Yeah,
to get all
we-
those
we-
ingredients. You just put the can in and you put the liquor in.
we
and it's
were
good.
somewhere together and
The
we realized
speakeasy.
that.
In West
Yeah,
Palm.
Oh, the
here.
speakeasy, yeah, and they had that can.
It's got like a mule on it or
I feel
something.
like-
It's I can't remember the name of it though. Off the top, it started with an O or something.
You know when
Owens.
they
Owens. Yeah.
you know when they
good.
come out with those
Fire.
cups that are like kind of rounded on the bottom, like for those espresso martinis, instead of like a martini glass, they have like that rounded.
Yeah,
bottom.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
I feel like every time they come out with the rounded bottom ones, I'm like, this is gonna be fire. Hell yes.
Let's go.
And
every
if you,
time.
if you don't sprinkle 3 beans
Yeah.
on top of the foamy
Right.
portion, you
Little
didn't
bit
do
of
it right.
cinnamon.
I'll send it back. Send it back.
Get it out of here.
Yeah, those
But
espresso martinis.
coffee doesn't stop at food too. It also is in like a lot of products. Like it's like especially in the beauty space, like skincare
Oh,
and
yeah.
all that stuff.
You're
Like
right.
it's in. Yes, Ryan.
I'm learning.
Things that you use. You know.
learning. No.
I think
I'm-
you put
I'm-
some,
I'm-
some scrub on your face.
Some scrub on my face.
Yeah.
Freshen up in the
Oh,
morning.
Johnny, that's just his beard.
Oh, well done. Well,
Damn.
well done, James. Well, that was good. That was good. All right then.
But yeah, it's you can do a lot with coffee. It's
Yeah.
I kind of want to try making my own coffee rub steak. I feel like I probably butcher
be the
it,
best.
but
Fire.
yeah. I wonder what beans I could use to, this maybe. Oh, the bold. There's your bold statement.
Yeah, talking about these, you want to hear something interesting? These we get from Amazon. These bags, you know how, I don't know what size these are. These are like probably 2 pounds. Yeah, 2 pounds. So this is like the same price as a 1 pound bag from anywhere else.
Really?
You know, double the size.
Amazon Fresh.
Amazon.
How much does it cost?
Arabica.
I have no idea. I don't buy them.
Oh, you know what? You know
Ask
this
Patty.
in the U.S.
But I just know the facts.
in the
and-
U.S., I'm cutting you off, Kenny, because you did it to me earlier.
Buy them on Amazon Prime Day. Prime Day, you get more bang for your buck.
There's mainly like 2 coffee beans that are actually used in the U.S., and this is one of them, the Arabica. I'm probably butchering that. The other one's Robusta, which
Robusta.
I love that name.
Oh yeah.
The Robusta bean. But yeah, I guess those are the most popular 2 beans in the U.S.
These do us well.
Robusta is used mostly for espresso drinks. So, Kenny, you might need to check out if Amazon Fresh has some Robusta beans
Interesting.
and instant coffee mixes. Where Arabica, I don't know how to pronounce that. It says it's used for black coffee. It's a little bit sweeter and more complex flavor.
Arabic. Do you mean like Arabic beans?
No, there's an anything.
Arabica. See it at the bottom there?
Oh,
It's called Arabisa, James. It's Arabisa.
Is that how you pronounce it?
Yeah.
How'd you pronounce
No, I'm just
How'd you
kidding.
pronounce turmeric?
I'm just kidding. I just wanted you to say it wrong the rest of the episode.
Arabisa.
It's probably Arabica. I don't know.
Do you guys have a preference on hot coffee versus cold coffee? Or it just doesn't, it's still
Just
coffee
get it
at
to
the end of
me.
the day, it just doesn't matter.
Yeah.
See,
I like hot just because I drink water cold constantly, so at least it just switches it up. I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm weird.
I feel like it depends.
I don't hate iced coffee.
I like both. I think hot coffee, it just makes me drink it slower,
Yeah.
Yeah.
which I
Do
like.
you like to enjoy
But-
it more?
Cold, I mean, I love cold
brew,
brews.
cold
Like
brew.
Yeah, but like when we're
hot
in
coffee, just
somewhere cold, are you more prone to get a cold iced coffee or a hot coffee if it's cold weather?
Oh my god. He's got a problem. Is that a medieval times cup?
Nice.
Been drinking coffee since medieval ages.
Yeah, I saw it was like
Basically.
800 BC or something like that. It was like coffee was first.
All right, you guys wanna bust a myth wide open
let's do it.
on coffee?
Bust a move.
What do you think has more caffeine? Dark roast or light roast?
Well, I already know this.
Dark roast.
Light roast.
Light
Light
roast.
roast. I'm light roast as well. So Ryan,
You're wrong.
you're wrong.
Would be the first time.
Kind of gave a hint there. You want to bust them in?
Well, someone's got to fall for it, you know?
People think that dark roasts have a stronger caffeine because of like its kick, right? But I mean, ultimately they're so similar. Like it's really not that much of a difference.
Is there a quantitative value on the difference?
Excuse me, you're cutting him off.
Yeah,
That's what we do around here. We cut each other off.
kill me, bro. No, so it's actually based off of weight. If you measure like by weight, that's how you can determine how much caffeine's actually in it. Now they're virtually equals what this says, but if you know when you're measuring it by the scoop, light roast will have a little bit slighter, more caffeine. It's because the beans are denser than the dark roast. It's because they've been roasted longer.
Interesting.
The dark roast.
Okay.
So it ends up having less mass. So there's more caffeine.
Right. So they're basically equal.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, at the end of the day, it's just for flavor. But I've heard that for years that dark roast always had more caffeine, and like, oh, I'll have a dark roast because I need a little bit more. And yeah, but I feel like that you might as well just have Colombian coffee or whatever. That stuff's got some caffeine in it.
Scientific fact. Want to hear some scientific facts?
Oh goodness, here we go.
When they get these beans,
What type of beans?
any type of beans, I guess their process is to. I don't make coffee, like bag them and all that kind of stuff. But when they put the beans in this bag,
Yet.
I think they roast them, right? And they put them in here. If they have to wait a period of time, because if they close the bag after they bag them, there's a process of a period of time where I think that there's carbon dioxide that comes off of the bean and the bag will pop. So they have to wait a period of time before actually bagging, because there is a byproduct of some type of, I guess, byproduct from roasting, I guess it would be, that comes off for, I think, a couple days.
Interesting.
Yeah. The only reason I know this is because I know someone that tried to.
Oh, it's because you're trying to enter the coffee market. You need to know how to bag some beans.
Exactly.
Finish.
I don't
coffee
know.
market.
Yeah, the Finnish coffee market.
Well,
Well, all right. So we've been talking about the different types of coffee and all this stuff. But what about like the actual benefits of drinking coffee? The benefits, and then also
Rocket fuel.
The caffeine, baby.
so.
Huge benefit.
I mean, essentially, is it power? Right? Kind of. If you think of it.
I don't know if it's a fact, and there's data that shows it, but I just think it gives you some type of mental alertness, whether it be, I don't know, concentration, your mood, your energy. I just feel that the more coffee I consume, again, I don't know if there's like scientific data behind this, but is it more of a cognitive thing? I don't know. But I feel like when I'm drinking coffee, the more I consume, the better I'm feeling and the better my focus is.
I'm going to echo that because before now that I've spent even more time with you guys have rubbed off on me, believe it or not. But before, if I worked out in the morning, I had some pre-work, I was like, I don't need coffee for the day, and I'd get through the day just fine. But now, if I work out in the morning, I'll still have coffee because I look at it as an enhancer. Like you said, mental clarity, just feel like I can be more productive, more efficient based off just adding that coffee to my repertoire. So I'm with you. I don't know if there's data behind it, but the feeling's there.
So caffeine definitely boosts energy levels. It's a stimulant. It'll help you fight fatigue. Caffeine can block the receptors of neurotransmitters called adenosine, which I've heard Andrew Huberman talk about so many times. And then it increases the level of other neurotransmitters in your brain that will regulate your energy levels, including dopamine.
So I know that definitely the benefit is within the caffeine.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
now,
is
there other benefits outside of just the caffeine?
Yeah, quick benefit. It actually can lower the risk of type 2 diabetes.
Yes, I actually saw that.
Yeah.
Huh.
Producing insulin to regulate blood sugar levels.
And
it
Parkinson's?
has rich antioxidants.
It says reduced risk of certain diseases like Parkinson's.
Right here, yeah. This supports the brain health.
Interesting.
Wow. Yeah, Alzheimer's and Parkinson's.
For the
I
brain.
think there's two things to consider.
Neurodegenerative disorders, essentially.
I think one thing to consider is coffee is a smooth drink that you can consume frequently throughout the day. Mm-hmm. So let's say on average, a cup of coffee, I believe, has somewhere of the region of 95 grams of caffeine per cup. So if you drink one in the morning, one in the afternoon, now you've consumed
You said afternoon
one in the morning, one in the afternoon.
Early afternoon, then
I'm
late
talking like afternoon like 12,
Right.
then afternoon like 3, then evening like 6. So now you have 4 cups of coffee.
Afternoon's such an annoying word. Everything that comes after noon is afternoon.
Technically.
Then
Well,
you
it's
have
like, when does it
evening.
turn evening? 6?
I have no idea. 5, 6.
All right, well,
after
there's
work.
2 in the afternoon, 1 in the morning, and then possibly 1 additional in the morning. So let's say you drink like 4 coffees in a day,
Math
right?
is hard.
You're drinking somewhere south of 400 grams of caffeine.
Mm-hmm.
So, or 400 milligrams of caffeine. So because of that, you're spacing it out throughout the day. But if you try to consume that much caffeine in any other source, it's like, what, a Red Bull?
Well, you
drink
got
4 Red Bulls a day.
Celsius, Ghost, those are 200 milligrams. Like,
But it's just not the same.
It's
I
not.
think if you drink coffee regularly throughout
How many
the
milligrams
day,
of caffeine are in a cup of coffee?
I believe 95. You can look it up though.
yeah, roughly somewhere around that.
I think it's 95.
I'm sure
how
you're
to work
right.
an iPad.
Um,
Come on, I want to.
but I mean, I just think that it's easier to drink that, and I
Mm-hmm.
think that becomes like a standard, and it becomes normalized. So like people just go grab a couple cups of coffee a day, but no one's hammering through 3 or 4 energy drinks or taking like straight caffeine pills or anything like
Exactly.
that.
95, Kenny. Look at you, big brain,
So I think that
big
That
brain.
brain.
you're just consuming regularly, and then constantly you're blocking the adenosine receptors, and you're constantly not fatigued. So I think there's that, and then also the thing to consider is you have to we're not going to have liver issues.
Yeah,
apparently, from
helps with
coffee.
liver issues.
That's
So
good.
I've been told.
Offsets.
I'm cutting you off just briefly. I've been told after you have consume alcohol, like it helps your liver the next day if you drink coffee in the morning.
Oh wow.
But it's a diuretic, so it dehydrates you. So you got to drink a lot of water.
Yeah, I
Okay,
definitely
sorry.
drink coffee the next morning for my liver, not my headache.
I'm
for
saying
sure.
it helps. It helps.
The other thing, though, I think to consider is like the type of coffee you're drinking. If you're drinking 4 caramel iced macchiatos, well, then you're going to have a problem because there's a lot of sugar and there's a lot of, fats that are inside of that. So, yeah,
Helps your heart too.
I think a lot of these factors go away when you start to drink like packed coffee
Yeah.
with a bunch of shit in it.
Well, and those are the points you're bringing up are so true because it's like we're drinking coffee black, so it's completely different. If you are drinking these, we always used to have this joke where we used to call it like sorority special with like 17 sugars and green unicorns and whatever. Like that defeats the purpose of drinking a coffee. Like,
Yeah.
and that's where it gets bad with the sugar. Like
Yeah.
and these people who are drinking like you don't really hear too much negativity about people drinking straight coffee, but when you talk about the Celsius, the Red Bull, the Ghost, the Monsters, like that's where people are having issues. And yeah, it's got 200 milligrams, but like clearly it's not good for you.
It's all the other
It
stimulants.
says it right here. It helps promote weight management because it can alter fat storage. But it says when you just drink it, like just the coffee itself, the liquid that comes from the bean, if you mix it with anything else, then all of a sudden it's an anti-effect completely.
Interesting.
Black coffee all the
You
way.
know, that gets you to think too with like obesity levels and as they continue to rise over decades and the way the consumption of coffee has altered over the past few decades. In 1975, were people drinking, these
I thought
packed
you were about
coffees?
to spit some 1975 fact.
Were people drinking these packed coffees with so much sugar and
I don't
all
think
these
so.
other stimulants?
Maybe
or
a
were they
little
drinking
cream. That's
coffee?
it. Yeah.
And like, was there, all these like creamers that are like, and some of these creamers are heavy cream. Like if you have a dairy issue, these creamers wreck you because they're heavy cream.
I like to compare the coffee culture to like beer culture. It's weird.
Love it.
But it's like all of these different like methods of brewing. I feel,
Yeah.
and kind of what you're saying has come over time, right? We've only innovated everything that we've ever had access to, and so same thing happened with like beer and stuff, right? You have all these different types of beer, and then then there's subcategories within it. I mean, you talk to someone that is really into brewing beer, different IPAs and different notes of hops, and this it's very similar to like people that are really into coffee, and then they know all these different like beans and all this other stuff. There's a whole world. I mean, we're just, hey, put a Keurig cup in and brew a freaking coffee, please.
There's a lot.
But there's
I agree.
I think the key is to try to identify how much you should drink, and from what I'm reading on here, it seems like actually the 2 cups is basically what can give you the normal physical benefits and get you what you need out of coffee, like what you're seeking out of it. Physical activity levels compared to those who drink, less or more, right? So it's interesting. I mean, there's a lot of stuff on this list. Again, it helps your liver, helps risk of depression. I mean, it even said it's really good for exercise. They did a study where they tested people that had coffee before.
It's good for exercise.
Yeah,
I actually
had
started
coffee
drinking
before
coffee before I run.
Yeah.
And I was always scared to do that because it's like
Why?
I don't want to cramp. I don't want to cramp up.
Yeah,
but I haven't yet. At least not due to coffee.
So 2 cups.
So-
That's the.
That's what I've read for some of like whenever they're talking about like the liver stuff and like all those other health, like they kind of 2 and some of them said 3 for this, but essentially 1 cup is just fine. But if you like the perfect seems to be the 2.
Good to know.
Kenny, you and I are.
Got to tone it down a little bit.
We got to
Yeah.
down a little bit more. So we talked about a lot of
Oh,
positives.
okay. Actually, they conclude right here about 3 to 4 cups a day is actually fine.
Oh,
That's
we're great.
that's technically moderation.
In like Flynn.
I wonder how much though. If it's like is that a 10 ounce cup? Is that or is that a venti
No, it's
extravaganza?
saying cup, which is probably an average of 8 ounces.
Yeah, I think it's 8 ounces.
Yeah. But
So obviously there's some positives. Let's talk about some of the negative consequences of coffee.
You got some already queued
What?
up?
I mean I've got one that comes to mind,
Okay.
and I wouldn't say it's so much like extremely negative, but obviously it messes with your sleep.
Yeah.
I thought you were going to say it's a diuretic.
So that was gonna be number 2, but for me personally,
Wait, that was gonna be number 2.
Well-
nice play on words.
See, though, like I feel like I can drink a cup of coffee and go to bed.
Diuretic doesn't have to do with that, Ryan. Diuretic means that you're dehydrated.
Oh.
It's not that you have to go number 2.
Well, it was a good play on words at the time.
too soon, dude.
it promotes gut health.
we were
That's
gonna
actually a
work
health
there.
benefit, Ryan.
Where's the AG1 at?
I love your brain.
Brain has to poop.
Brain's got to poop.
Too much coffee.
I just think I've toned it back from drinking coffee later in the day. Like I used to like have a cup of coffee at 4 o'clock, and I'm like, damn, freaking wired's 7, 8 o'clock. So I try not to drink anything past 3.
Same.
Like that's the goal.
Me too.
Now, if I know it's going to be a late night, though, it's just like, whatever. I'm going to be working anyway. Let's just continue to keep drinking coffee. But 3's like the sweet spot.
See, one thing I've been looking into a lot recently is those coffee alternatives, which are, you see something like one of the companies is Rise, R-Y-S-E, I think is how you spell it. But it's like a mushroom-based coffee alternative with additional stimulants inside of it, which are supposed to get you the benefits and some of what coffee can provide, but also reduce the need for coffee or the desire for coffee. But it's like, if it's good for you and it's no problem, then why do you need
It's
an
just like
alternative?
any of those medications that you see on, TV commercials. It has a laundry list of effects that you can potentially have. Not everyone has those same effects, right? But from the Mayo Clinic, it looks like one of the big things you've got raised blood pressure can be bad. As you mentioned, Johnny, insomnia, nervousness. It's not the greatest for if you like suffer from anxiety because too much coffee can make you, the jitters. Small side effects are like heartburn, stuff like that.
That's one I feel bad. I get heartburn.
Yep.
Women who are pregnant.
Pregnant.
They or going to be breastfeeding, that they say to be cautious about caffeine intake in general. That doesn't mean caffeine, not coffee. Coffee has caffeine, so that's kind of the thing. So I mean, before there was a lot of negative connotation towards coffee, but I think because people have been studying coffee for such a longer time, that's where all the stuff about Parkinson's disease coming in, type 2 diabetes, like liver, and that stuff is now becoming relevant. That actually there are health benefits. It's just every time you do anything in life, it's in moderation.
100%.
Right. So that's kind of the big thing there.
Yeah, I agree. Definitely needs moderation.
Yeah. Yeah.
Awesome.
But
Well, I think we have some insightful thoughts on coffee and how we use coffee. You can tell we all love coffee. Ryan, maybe not so much, but a little bit in moderation. He might not know how coffee works that great, but
Oh, right. Dietary.
but
gastrointestinal issues.
I think that coffee as a whole has tons of benefits. We've seen that it offers a lot of value in moderation. And as long as you keep a fistful of Tums in your pocket, you're probably good.
You're right.
Where are the Tums at?
Oh boy.
All right, let's get another cup of coffee.
Yep. Number 2.
Until then, the blender.
All right, we got our talking out the way. We're good to go.